Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Becky.
What's that?
Note, do we have a quorum present?
Duly noted.
John and Steve are here in spirit tonight, not in person, but the three of us will hold down the fort, hopefully. Everyone have a chance to look at the July 7th minutes and the July 28th special minutes,
Yes.
meeting minutes. Okay, can we get a motion to approve those?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Anyone in the crowd, public comment on any of the agenda items? Please speak now. I know Kelly came up, so yeah, please feel free.
Thank you for letting me address you all, though it's nothing to do with what's on the agenda.
Okay.
I just want to say that this guy, Bill Stromovich, had a massive heart attack last Sunday. And when I called 911, they said, administer aspirin. I only had Motrin, Tylenol, ibuprofen, no aspirin. And wonderful, wonderful Megan Rose got in her own car, heard on the 911 call. She drove to our house. She ran in the front door, and she gave Bill aspirin that saved his life. So I just want to say, number one, everybody better have aspirin at home. I know you're all youngins, but it's chewable babies aspirin. You got to have it at home. And I just want to say what a gem our ambulance is, and what a wonderful, wonderful chief we have for our ambulance, and that's all I wanted to say.
For sure. Thank you guys. And again, Bill, glad. How you doing? Great. Okay.
I've got them zip tied to the couch.
There you go.
Right?
Take it easy, make sure you get the full recovery and, take the time. I know it's hard when you're laid up and it's tough to sit still and let your body heal like it's supposed to, so.
Yeah, they said in a couple months I'll be right back to normal.
All right, perfect.
But what a wonderful ambulance we have.
Yeah,
we can't thank her
And
enough.
thankfully still alive and with us.
Yep,
For sure.
for sure.
She lived life.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Good story. Good outcome.
Awesome. Take care. Don't give up, sir.
Thank
No.
Anyone else? Okay. Project update. The only one I have to share on is the court security project. We wrapped that up a couple weeks ago. So everything's done. I've submitted all the paperwork to the state, and now we're just waiting back. They kind of look through everything, make sure the receipts and the invoices and everything match, the checks that we send out in payment, and then we'll hear back one way or another for making sure everything's rectified. But we should be in good shape. One thing we'll have to vote on at some point. I mentioned it to John. He recommended maybe we wait until we budget for the next year, but now that we have the walk-through metal detector, we need a sheriff on hand to run it during the court hours. And so I called Livingston County. They charge $40 an hour for a sheriff to be on site. I talked to both judges, Ron and Harold, and they said that it shouldn't ever be, unless there's like a grand jury type situation or something, it should probably only be like $160 a month that we would have to budget for, but it could be as much as $240. So, to pay the sheriff. So at some point we need to vote on, having money to pay for that, but it might be something that we have to wait until January for the next budget round to take effect. And then another thing that we have to, I sent it out to everybody. I don't know if anyone's had a chance to look at it, but Dan Marcellus put together a quote to upgrade the firewall over there. So we have the new intercom system, and we're covered under the town's firewall, but the secondary firewall would add a second layer of security to make sure, God forbid, the town was hacked. They couldn't then access like personnel or privacy records through the court. so it would be like a secondary firewall between the town system and then the court system. So like I said, I can resend it. and
What's the cost of it again?
I want to say it was like roughly $1,700. And that would be for the firewall, and then, right now, God forbid, there's a power outage, the mag locks will be deactivated on the doors over there. So, like, say there's a power outage in the middle of the night, the mag lock, so essentially the building would be unlocked at that point. We had talked about putting a backup battery system in over there that would buy us like 2 hours worth to give somebody time to get over there and make sure everything was manually locked up. Because there's still a manual lock on the doors in case, God forbid, there is a power outage. We can still keep the building safe and secure. So he had sent it would include those batteries as well. So if we want to put that off until voting, until maybe the rest of the board's here at the September meeting, we could do that. And again, that might be something that we wait to do. Although with the security on that, that might be something, because I know Carol jumps through hoops as far as making sure that we have adequate security measures in place, because there's state mandates that come down for all the records over there. So that might be something we have to vote on and do sooner rather than later to upgrade that firewall. But as far as paying for the sheriff, that might be something we have to wait on. But we could probably wait until next month to vote on all of that. Okay. So that's all I have for that. Everyone have a chance to look at John's supervisor report? Okay. Motion to approve? Make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Perfect. Reports, I saw Jen's come out, Charlie's is here, if anyone didn't see the electronic copy. Any questions or anything on anyone need to see Charlie's report?
No, okay.
Alright. Sean, anything from the highway?
Just lately been plugging away at trimming trees. Been plugging away at while we can with drier weather on Pond Road. All that slumping off, and then I got the remainder of the pipe needed to do the Dorn Road crossover dig. I also got quotes for stone on all that. We're gonna need probably, because it's so deep, we need to do it with like crushed stone from Hanson or Heidelberg.
Right.
It's gonna be like 2,000 tons worth of material that we pull out of it and replace.
Okay.
It'll be about 30 grand worth of material. I still have it left over in my capital improvements budget line, so
Okay.
yeah, once we get Pond Road to the point where I would like to continue to backfill it, everything else that we pull out of that hole is going to go to Pond Road to cover all of the larger concrete stuff that we've been putting on Pond Road. Everything that comes off the door will go to Pond. And then, yeah, I'm gonna have Dorn Road closed down for a couple weeks. And
So you're not gonna wait then for water to go, right?
no, so I
Probably can't at this point.
yeah, I drove around with the engineers of the water project, and I mean, to do that project safely, because it's essentially almost 20 feet down, and you have to you can either bring in, barricades essentially for each side of the wall,
Right.
or you trench it out and step it upward, and we're gonna go that route, and yeah, with that it'll be about 20 feet deep, about 50 feet wide, dig it, I was talking to the engineers, I was like, we have to do it prior to the water project.
Right.
Just cause you can't have 20 or, you know, about 50 feet of, water main just hanging there.
Right.
And it'd be in the way.
Yeah.
When might you get into that project?
I would love to be able to get started prior to September. So, I know you want rain, I don't want rain.
No, I'm done with that. I want sun, I want some heat.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, if rain holds off, I would like to start before the end of September.
Yeah, well, it'd screw up the bus routes and all.
Yeah, most likely.
Have we notified the school district?
Then, so they start the first full week of September, correct, right after Labor
Yeah, so
Day?
you're anticipating being done.
September
I think they're.
September 8th is the first day of school and they shut off.
Yeah, September 8th.
You should be done.
I would love,
Hopefully.
hopefully,
Okay.
I'm hoping that it is done by September 8th.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I just know that from my time working there that anytime there was major, road projects, they appreciate the heads up.
Yeah,
as far as
for
roads.
sure. Yeah, I mean, anytime I do any other crossovers in town, I always
Yeah,
let them know.
okay. Cool.
Other than that, that's about it.
Good.
Oh, we did receive all of our CHIPS money back.
Okay.
That came back this month. It was like 244,000 that came back.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the chips.
The chips, there's like 4 different ones. Yeah, they all came back.
Good.
Nice.
Yeah. Any more word on the truck?
Still probably just planning on next fiscal year, like March timeframe.
And that's just a production
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Issue? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a little miscommunication.
Moving on to boards and committees, liaison reports. Chris, you want to start off?
Summer rec is going. I mean, it's probably about done now.
Yeah.
And then, the historical society is open, for the season still, so. That's about it.
Ron?
Yeah, so John and I had a Zoom meeting with Senator Helmy
Okay.
and New York State DOT. They still have yet to do the evaluation, although it's supposed to be being done. They're gonna, I guess the consensus is they're gonna wait until they do the evaluation before they kind of make any determination. They threw out some ideas, but I ain't gonna tell you what they are, only from the standpoint they may or may not even happen. I did, when I was sitting at the Republican booth, I talked to Andrea Bailey, and they're working at putting pressure on New York State DOT as well as Senator Helming's office, so hopefully something comes of that. As far as the library, the last meeting, of course the Friends of the Library, they had their book sale during the concert, Crossroads Festival. I guess the library's book circulation is pretty steady. They're gonna have in June, well I guess June's passed, Andrea Bailey was already there in June. Senator Helming is coming out here in September apparently. They're asking for grant money, for more money for the charging stations. I guess I didn't understand that too well. Asking for money for the library. They're gonna be asking for money for the library when Senator Helming comes. They adopted their personnel policy, and I guess that's it there as far as the park. Mr. O'Brien stopped by, wanted to make sure that the memorial marker was placed at the southwest end where they donated the land. we're having Paul Smith, I don't know if anybody knows Paul Smith, he's an engineer, architect. He's drawn up floor plans for the community center. And Steve and I both have contacts out there for the building of the shell, and still working on that. So other than that, just about it.
From my end, the Ag Committee has not met in the last month. Be Well, obviously, their big event for the Crossroads Festival was the Lima Bean 5K. I ran that. Chris and I partook in that Saturday morning. There was 158 people who actually signed up and registered, and there had to be over 200 people that partook.
Oh, yeah.
Easy. It was a really good turnout. Shout out to Tori for the work she did as far as putting all that together, and just a really good job. And then obviously, as far as the court goes, we wrapped up that project here in the last couple of weeks, and then we are looking at, Carol looked, if we want, there are some other upgrades over there that we've talked about, that kind of popped up during this grant process. So the deadline for the next grant application is, I think, September 22nd. So we're kind of chatting about, if we want to submit another grant proposal for this upcoming year to kind of fix some of the stuff that, not fix, but additionally upgrade some of the stuff that we didn't get to this year. Like, I know the teller window was on the original list, but we had trouble getting contractors to return our phone calls. So we'd like to get that whole window replaced with with ballistic glass. And then it would be nice to maybe upgrade, and get some more security cameras over there, because there are no cameras right now inside the building. They're all part of the intercom system, so, God forbid, something happened in the courtroom or whatever that needed to be, that we needed footage of or something like that. So we're looking at, I know the judges are going to look into maybe the legality of having cameras in the courtroom. It seems to me, like, I'm sure we've all seen on the news, right, where an assailant rushes the judge, and so you would think that having security cameras inside the courtroom would make sense, but also I'm not 100% sure on the legality of it at the town level. So I think Ron Huff was going to look into that as a possibility. So that's something we're kicking around. And then Community Connections is going to be meeting this Saturday here in the town hall at 10 a.m. So anyone is welcome to that. We've got a group of about 6 people that come. We haven't met in, a month and a half? So it'd be nice to, now that the Crossroads is over and we've got holiday season coming up, I know we've kicked around some ideas about some fun things to do around Halloween. And obviously, once, Christmas gets here, we do a lot of fun things around that. So anybody, from the community that's got any ideas, that wants to take the lead on anything, I encourage you guys to come and partake in that on Saturday. So.
And I think Kelly has the weekend off because I'm going to be making it. So.
Okay.
You won't have to play the secretary stuff.
Again, shout out to Kelly for her work with that over the last couple of months. So.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Oh, we meet here at the town hall. Yep. At 10 a.m.
One thing I forgot, you mentioned cameras. The other thing about the park, they've got 11 new cameras down there, 2 of which they're all in operation, 2 of which have night vision. So any trouble that happens down there, we should be able to.
Is there a live feed on those, or it's just they record and keep?
I think they record.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious because I know that was a topic that popped up with the court, was is there live feed or anything that anyone's watching at any given time? So.
I mean, they put cameras in for the news. You wouldn't think for different court, high-profile court cases.
Yeah.
I mean, Jim, is there anything you know of?
Yeah, there are, cameras are permitted as long as they meet the guidelines of the Office of Court Administration. So there are certain circumstances if you're dealing with something that involves a minor,
Sure.
you know, you have to be able to turn them on and turn them off.
Makes sense.
But there's a whole kind of regulations. Office of Court Administration is a good place to go to ask for that. They'll give you the guidelines.
Office of Court Administration.
Yeah, I mean, you can just look them up. It's a New York State website, and they might even have some guidance right on the website about cameras in court.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, high-profile court cases, there's news cameras in there that they put right on television,
yeah.
so you
Yeah.
wouldn't think they would be an issue.
Yeah,
I wouldn't think
it's
it would be an issue.
you know, it's really about maintaining a record. So, you know, similar to here, if we put cameras in that videotape everything, we've got to have policies to maintain those records. That's another consideration for the courts because the defendants have rights
Sure.
associated with their defense that allow them access to those records. So how do you deal with that? Do they automatically erase, or you know,
How
are they
long do you keep
accessible?
them?
How long do you keep them? All of that. So
Right.
it's doable, but it's a process. But you want to get some guidance.
Then moving on to old business, I talked to John about the emergency services contracts, and I think that's something that we can wait until September to talk further about. Same with capital improvement plan, he said we just put those on there so they're things that we constantly keep on a running track of, so they don't get lost in the shuffle. And then the one thing that we do have to address tonight is the solar moratorium. Do you want to talk more in detail on that, Jim? And then
Sure.
we basically just have to set up a public hearing that it sounds like we can
Yep.
do at our next meeting. So,
Yep.
So we don't need a special meeting, we just do it next.
We'll do it at the next meeting, if that's your pleasure. It was presented at the last meeting in July, and I sent it to the county. You know, there's a required referral to the county planning department. They've reviewed it, they recommended approval, subject to a couple of little comments, normal things like doing seeker, addressing seeker.
okay.
So if it's your pleasure to advance that, you need a motion to set the public hearing for the September meeting at 6:30, and then I will get a notice to Jen, she'll publish it. And that's it. And then, assuming that we conclude the public hearing at a September meeting, you can immediately move through seeker. It's type 2 action, so there's none of that long question process that I sometimes go
Right.
through. It's real quick, and you can adopt it. And the way it's structured right now, we shouldn't have any gap between the last moratorium and this one.
Right, because if we vote on it at the October meeting, then we go
You've
into
got a
effect.
gap between September and October,
Yeah.
so we should be able to, you know, assuming that there's nothing here at the public hearing that changes your mind about it,
Right.
we should be able to adopt it right then and there, and it'll be seamless. I don't anticipate that you're gonna need the full 12-month moratorium period. We now have a working draft, I sent it all out to you guys.
Yep.
I know it's a lot and a big read, but I think if we're diligent, we could probably get something in place in the next 6 months.
Sure.
And if we do, we can just terminate the moratorium.
Okay.
So, but it gives us some flexibility.
So I guess, I make a motion
Motion to hold a public hearing.
to hold a public hearing for the solar moratorium, at our next town board meeting,
At 6:30
September.
p.m.
6:30. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries.
I'll get that notice over to Jen.
Awesome, thanks, Jim. New business, I don't have anything, do you guys? Okay, Lori, anything we're forgetting? Okay. All right, everyone have a chance to take a look and sign off on the abstract and vouchers?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go over abstract number 8. I'll run through the totals and then we can make a motion for approval. So, for abstract number 8, vouchers number 225 through 252, the total $54,470.90. Under the water district, so that's general. Under the water district, voucher number 9 is $26,144. And then highway vouchers 88 through 99, totaling $23,361.62. We have a motion to approve those vouchers.
I'll make a
Abstract
motion.
eight.
Yeah, for voucher 8, or abstract 8, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. All opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Yeah.
Motion carries. How'd I do, Larry? Good, alright. Put that in the minutes, I haven't been good on.
I will. I'm done.
Alright, circling back, to public comment on any town matters. Okay. Any town board comments?
This is the quickest meeting we've ever had.
Listen, also put that in the minutes, Lori, the three of us are just
I'm
crushing
not gonna
this
slow
so
down,
far.
but I'll give you just a quick affirmation. I talked to Eric and Jason about the water district. Still on target for bidding to go out, early fall, early to mid-fall. We're waiting for some final determinations by DEC, but there's still an expectation that we're gonna get those bids out in the timeline that we originally counted.